and fairer and less expensive for the rest of us. It will affect everyone on Earth who has ever had a bank account, a credit card, a debit card, a loan, an insurance policy, or a lawyer. To say nothing of investors, artists and traders, and anyone who would wish to transact globally without the inertia of inscrutable state and private bureaucracies. It will reforge the cogs and wheels in the engines of trust. We will argue in these pages that we are not overstating the case. DeFi's growing hype is justified. Chapter 1. Introduction. A man in Johannesburg wishes to send his daughter studying in the Netherlands some money to spend on an upcoming long weekend. He decides that 1,000 rand, about $75, seems about right. He goes to his banking website to transfer the money to his daughter's bank account in Amsterdam. On the site, he is confronted with an array of forms and questions that seek to shoehorn his intended gift to his daughter into a set of arcane and opaque requirements. The man gives up at the point where the system attempts to assign a regulatory code to the transaction. He has been on the site for 10 minutes. He does not even get to the point where the transaction might have been approved and where the transaction fee would be revealed. Had he done so, he would have found out that it was over 15% of his intended gift. He then opens an application on his phone, a crypto wallet called MetaMask. He transfers $75 worth of a cryptocurrency called ETH from MetaMask to his daughter's crypto wallet, accessed via an app called My Ether Wallet, which she had downloaded the previous week in Amsterdam from her laptop. It takes 15 seconds to enter the transaction. She receives the funds 5 minutes later. The transaction fees are a fraction of what her father's bank would have extracted. The man fills out no forms to do this transaction. He does not need an ID. The transaction, although having been viewed by thousands of anonymous computers, will never be tied to the father or the daughter. Unlike the bank transfer, the South African government and Dutch government will not ever identify them as the parties to this transaction, even though they would wish to do so. It is a private matter between father and daughter. It is simple, it is fast, it is cheap. The scenario above is not new. It has been around for a few years, certainly longer than the main subject of this book, DeFi. It is in daily use by millions of people. It is trivial to initiate and conclude. But buried in this little story is an important matter, the crux, really. It is the matter of trust. The man wishing to send his daughter a payment had two options. One required a man in the middle, and the other did not. In this example, the man in the middle was his bank. Not only was the experience frustrating, although, to be sure, while this example is real, not all bank experiences are this bad, it was also expensive. And, in this example, accompanied by a usurious rent extraction, both by the bank and the state. In the man's second attempt to pay his daughter, there was no one sitting in the middle of the transaction, no institution with employees and forms to fill in. Just a few lines of code of little interest to the man who initiated the transaction or to his daughter. A transaction fee may have been charged to compensate for the expense of the computing resources which shepherded this transaction to its conclusion, but it was much lower than that of the bank. Bitcoin arrived as an idea in 2008, launched in 2009, and is the last common ancestor of all that has come after. Bitcoin itself still rules the roost in terms of scale and total value, but decreasingly so. Footnote: for the uninitiated,